Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the 757 Renaissance Man podcast. Today we're going to take a journey. This lady that we're about to speak to is about to set it off. She is a super entrepreneur. We're going to be speaking with Dr. Stevii Mills. How you doing today, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. I had to get my bagel. I had to get my coffee, a little extra sugar, because I know what kind of energy I'm about to be up with this morning.
Yes. I'm super excited. Thank you.
So before we get into what we're going to get into, I always love talking to my fellow HBCU. Yes, so tell everybody which HBCU you went to.
I'm gonna keep it light today. I'm not gonna even put that much sugar on it, right? Because you got the sugar in your coffee cup. But I'm gonna say it like this. I graduated from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, also known as A&T, where the Aggie pride reigns supreme. And wow, it's so nice I graduated twice. I have 2 degrees from A&T. So thank you.
So everybody who knows me knows I represent Norfolk State University. Behold the green and gold. You know I've been waiting for you to come up here so I can do this, right?
HBCU love. As long as y'all not playing A&T, I'm rocking with you.
All right, that's enough of that. Ooh, it's hard to get too hot in here. So how do you think that your experience at HBCU shaped you into the woman you are today?
Wow, that's a powerful question, and I love it. I loved my experience at A&T. It was the only school I ever applied to, and so I'm grateful that they accepted me. I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to learn inside and outside the classroom. I'm grateful for the connections that I still have there. I'm grateful that in this amazing day and age, as we are emerging from the pandemic, we have GHO or homecoming. I'm from the homecoming generation, but either way you slice it, we have that this year. So I'm grateful for that as well. But I loved everything about A&T. It definitely allowed me to have the courage to continue on. You know, we talk about Aggies do, and I've done a lot in my career and in my life. And I know that's because my foundation was A&T.
So to all the people, all my viewers and listeners out there that went to PWIs and don't understand the homecoming experience of an HBCU, we've been trapped in the house for a year. Every HBCU homecoming is about to be off the chain. Off the chain. And so I'm blessed that I live in an area where I'm surrounded by HBCUs. I have Hampton University, Norfolk State University. We got Elizabeth City. We have Virginia State, not too far. That's about 45 minutes. So we're surrounded by them. So I know the whole first semester is about to be off the chain right here.
Yeah, and if you come on up down the road a bit, you can come to Aggie Land. We'll welcome you. It's okay.
And did I mention Elizabeth City? I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's about to be off the chain. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the Battle of the Bay. I can't wait for the Labor Day Classic is when Norfolk State normally plays Virginia State. I don't care who wins. I just want to be in the place. I just want to be in that environment. I want to see my people again. I'm excited.
There's nothing like it, right? It's nothing like the culture, really. And I liken HBCUs like cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about each other, but you can't talk about us.
Right.
We're
gonna jump you.
Stand proud for every HBCU.
Me and you might argue about Norfolk State and A&T, but let somebody else jump in that conversation. It's gonna be a whole problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you a little funny story. Some kind of way over the pandemic, my 10-year-old son applied to Virginia State University. And I didn't know it. I was getting letters in the mail like, it's time to register. And because it was the pandemic, he might could have got in, but I pulled the brakes on it. But he might could have got in because it was during the pandemic. They were saying, well, no registration fees. You didn't have to take your SATs. No, I almost let him slide in there. But see the way my bank account was set up.
The checking and saving.
Right. We still saving. They ain't saying nothing about no scholarship. Now, if they went for the scholarship, it would have been on. He would have been gone from here.
Like, y'all let him in. Hey, he a genius.
Just that he had, I don't understand. I don't know. And of all schools, Virginia State. Yeah. So I come from a household that I'm the black sheep. My mom went to Hampton University. My dad went to Hampton University. My little sister went to Hampton University. And I went to Norfolk State, the rival.
And what made you make that decision, though?
The band. Oh, we're going
to dance every time you do that. So I'm just
we're going to do this all day. No, the band. I grew up my uncle and aunt also were tenure professors at Hampton University. So as a little boy, I spent a lot of time. And in my universe, there were only HBCUs. I didn't find out, or I knew about, but I really didn't recognize PWIs until I got to junior high and high school. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, that's all it was. You know, Southern, Grambling, Hampton, North Carolina A&T, you know, that's what I knew.
Hit that beat one more time. Don't hit that beat one more time.
Behold, y'all.
I'm about to get up this time. Hey. There's nothing like it.
Nothing. All right, a little fact. Norfolk State University was the first band to play that song.
So were you in the band?
Of course. That's the only reason I went to college. If it weren't for...
what did you play?
Tuba.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason I went to school. Like some people went to college because of football. I went to college to be in a marching band. So I have to thank, HBCUs because they put that seed in me as a kid. And that was my motivation in junior high and high school to get to college. I really didn't care what I did to college, just as long as I was in a band.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was my main motivation. And it worked, and I got there.
And so what did your family say? Since they were all Hamptonites?
My mom had a little bit of... let me see. How can I say this? So, we were so Hampton University that President Harvey's kids used to babysit us when we were young. That's how Hampton University we were.
And then you made that decision.
Yeah, so it was a two-way street for her. She was like, he went to Norfolk State, but at least he going to college. So
yeah.
And I had scholarship money. Thanks to the band. And Hampton won't give up no money, so that's what
Yeah. My mama wanted me to go to Bennett, and I was like, I'm gonna be across the street at A&T. Yeah, I wasn't going. And Greensboro at that time, I was in high school. Thank God, because in-state tuition.
Mhm.
Thank God I was in Greensboro at the time. But we have lots of colleges in Greensboro. It's not like just one college. We
Right.
have a whole lot in the city. And I said, no, I'm gonna stay right over here on East Market Street.
So let me ask you this: before college, what was your high school experience like, and was it a stark difference between your high school and your HBCU experience?
Absolutely. So in high school, I moved in the middle of my high school. I always say I boomerang between Virginia and North Carolina. That's all.
Okay.
I was born here in North Carolina, grew up in Roanoke, just a little bit down the road from you.
You're right.
Went back to Greensboro in the middle of high school and then stayed there about 4 years ago, and then went back to Roanoke and came back to Greensboro recently. So I've always been between these two states. But in high school, moving in the middle of my high school, for one, that was different because by the time I got to Greensboro, what I had studied in ninth grade, they were just studying in the middle of their 10th grade year. So for me, it was very different in the fact of, okay, I already did this, so now y'all making me bored.
Right,
That's
right.
the first thing. Then, but it was great. It was a great setup for me to have in-state tuition, and it was a stark difference because I grew up Roanoke. If you know anything about it, it's predominantly white city.
Mhm.
So me being the only Black girl in many classes growing up and going to a HBCU where I'm one of many was a difference. It was, but it was a difference for the best. I always talk about like on Different World, Freddie.
Mhm.
I feel like I had a lot of those characteristics. Like you're like, we all have Black experience, yes, but this is a different type of Black person. It's all so, and I accredit Different World a lot, and I still watch it today about just how you saw the cultural experience you saw, and watching it as an adult is real different because now I know I've gone through the experience,
Right. Yeah.
so now I can relate to it on a different level.
So I
But
already had the seed when I was younger, but A Different World was the icing on the cake.
yeah, right.
I had to go find Whitney. That's all. I was gonna go find Whitney.
Yes, and it's like being in a space where you see so many Black people that are brilliant and from all over different parts of the state and world and country. It's like, wow. It literally is like, wow.
Mhm.
I learned a lot that I didn't know existed. Like I never before met people from all across. Roanoke is a small town.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. But my older cousin, who's like my brother, he went to A&T. So I had a little bit of knowledge about the campus. But being there as a student was different than just being on campus as a high schooler. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a great thing, and I think more of us need to have that experience because not only does it prepare you for the world, it teaches you about yourself and about your culture through others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a lot of times people don't understand, like they'll say it gives a bad rap or a false reality to the world. But honestly, it gave me a better reality to the world. It
Mhm.
gave me a better perspective because I did come from a completely different reality.
Mhm.
And I think that's it. And so I do believe in the state of all HBCUs. I do believe in the fact that it's love. You're not going to experience that kind of love many places
And a
outside
lot
of
of them professors will give you that tough love too.
yeah. Because they know you. I remember, and they know you. So back in the day when I was young and wild, sneaking into dorms, I remember being caught by a security guard, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting caught in this dorm, about to get thrown out of school. I'm in this boys' dorm," and it was literally the fact that they're like, "I know you. You better keep going to class." That type of thing. Whereas somewhere else, who didn't know me, it would have been a different thing. So there it was like your parent away from home.
I can't tell you my sneaking in dorm story because I don't think the statute of what is it? Statute of limitations is done up yet. So we'll talk about that offline. but it involves Cisco, Mad Dog 2020, and pulling the fire alarm.
Oh Lord, yes. Yeah, I was just thinking a little. I have that kind of story. I have to hear this story out one day for real.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also think that it's important because we get to see like my uncle was I can't talk. Hold on, coffee. Yeah. Thank you. My uncle was a professor of architecture. And, if you go with what, society tells you, we don't have Black architects.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Black scientists. But when you go to a HBCU, all those myths are blown away.
Yeah. My aunt, even, there's a big rivalry between A&T and North Carolina Central. It is what it is. Right. But my aunt was the dean of the law school at North Carolina Central before she passed away. And so just being able to see that, understand how many or how few Black lawyers come through HBCUs and the whole thing, and to know that there's a room named after her on campus, like, that is legacy to me. And you're right. You don't really think about that in the aspect of that. And I know some parents who tell their kids don't go to an HBCU. And I'm like, that's probably one of the things that gets under my skin the most. I'm like, why not? Why not?
Yeah. And so my daughter, she's 14. So she's, I'm trying to prep her to get ready to go to college. So I give her the same thing that my mama gave me. Is you going to college. I don't care what you study. I don't care what your major is, but you going to college. I also believe college isn't for everybody, but I also believe that you should at least try it. I think everybody needs that experience. And I don't know, maybe because I'm jaded because I went to a HBCU, but you got to get out your mama house. And I think those are the first steps of learning who you are as a person and dealing with other people. Mm-hmm. With that said, my daughter wants to go to Hampton.
I mean, it makes sense. She's in the Legacy.
She's in the trio program at Hampton now. But I'm real proud of her, especially coming out of school with the whole pandemic and everything. Her grades went up. She was already an honor roll student. Her grades went up. And she is in a program it's her first year of high school. And the program she's in, shout out to Hampton City School System, because they got a dope program where you can choose what school you want to depending on what you're interested in. And the program she's in is called the ACE program. So when she graduates from high school, she's also going to have an associate's degree for free.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Half of my job taken care right there.
That is awesome.
So I'm real proud of her. And I think if she keeps on, she can do that. I'm also concerned though, because of this last year of being at home, or year and a half of being at home, I'm concerned about, social things with the kids, because I think that's why she excelled, because she didn't have those distractions of who's looking at who and who got what shoes on, and she was able to study and buckle down and, concentrate on a little bit more, even though, these little kids, I can't imagine being my age and going through the pandemic. And these little kids were networking geniuses. They have the Zoom with their class on. Then they got a group FaceTime going over here. And then she has her iPad with Google on it. And I can't hate.
They grew up with that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they grew up, that's who they are. So, But
then you got whole grown people tripping out over the pandemic about how can I get into Zoom for work? They got a whole little conglomerate going on.
They are tech babies. When I don't know how old you are, I know how old I am, but when I was in the whole thing of like AOL coming out, that was a huge thing. Yeah. AOL, you got mail, or Y2K, we thought the computer, when it was going to blow up, That's what people thought. So yeah, they grew up with Facebook and social media and Zoom and all these tools. So, and their mind works differently because of that. So I get it. I get it. And I heard a term yesterday. Somebody described themselves as a millennial geriatric. I was like, that's funny. Because it's a lot of people in that age group who don't know. They're like, I'm old. I don't know. But the younger kids, they do know because they haven't, I don't think they've experienced life without technology.
But I want to be a social fly on the wall when they go back and see, is it going to be like a shock to actually have to be, talk to somebody face to face? And, it's different when you got to deal with personality and, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. And combine it with, it's her first year of high school. I think I'm going to be in for it.
You're going to be in for it anyway, just because you have a daughter who's smart and I'm sure beautiful and she's going to high school. Things change.
Yeah, I'm not her favorite man anymore.
Things change. I remember my daddy, he has me and he has another daughter and 2 stepdaughters. So I definitely understand what that is to have a dad who has a girl dad. Like it's a different experience.
Yeah, I used to be her favorite, but
oh, yeah. You gotta share. You gotta share. Yes, for the sound effects. I love it. Yeah.
So what is your doctorate in?
So I have an honorary doctorate in leadership.
Okay.
So last year it's funny, if I search my Facebook, I have posts that said, I'm not going back to school. The Lord's going to have to bless me with an honorary doctorate. And that's literally what happened last year. So I have an honorary doctorate in leadership.
Speaking, and he will give it to you.
Amen. I was, so that's how that came about. So, but if I didn't go that route, I would have gone to where North Carolina A&T get my 3rd degree.
All right. No doubt. So you are, for lack of a better word, a book writing fool. You're up to 25 now?
I got 25 here, 24.
Look at her all prepared. One time for the book. All right, let's talk about them books.
These just came out this year, actually. They just came out. So I never wanted to be a writer. I never wanted to be in business. That's what a lot of people don't understand. I just kind of fell into business. But this one, last year, I was blessed to make 6 figures online in the pandemic. And so this one is Click the Cash and literally has my strategies about how I did that. And so that is and this one's called The Ultimate Hustler. It's kind of redefining what hustle means, because a lot of people live in the hustle mentality when you don't have to be the ultimate hustler, which is the real flex. You don't have to hustle all the time just to get stuff done.
Yes. So I have another doctor that I'm going to introduce you to. Her name is Dr. Rhonda Alexander. And I think you two, especially with y'all got similar books with the hustle book. I'm gonna link y'all two up together.
Awesome. I love new connections. Thank you.
I'm scared though, because it might be a little bit global domination there. We're gonna go ahead and hook you two up.
Let's take over the world. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So you say you didn't intend to be an author. How did it happen? How do you accidentally write a book?
I know, and then write 25 of them. Well, I'll start with I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I think that's the biggest thing that surprises people. And literally, because I was in corporate America, I am very free-spirited. I like to have fun. And corporate America felt like I was a caged bird. And so I stayed there a year. And in that year, I got very, very ill. So at the age of 30, I ended up really stressed out. I had to have 3 colonoscopies within 30 days, 2 within 24 hours. I went from a size 14 to a size 0, and I had shingles. So all at 30. So then I had to figure out like, what is going on? Am I allergic to jobs? I've gone all the way from school, from kindergarten to grad school, and now this happened. So I tell people that's how I fell into entrepreneurship, because had it gone a different way, I might not be here. And so the first book I ever wrote was called Cultivating Your It Factor. And it actually was a book anthology where I allowed other women to come and be in my book. And that is not what most authors do. They normally write their first solo book, but I'm different. I'm okay with that. But it was literally the book I wish I would have had when I was on that job I hated. So that's how I literally came into being an author. And then it just came and came. And I love helping people to get visible. And I believe that books are a great way to do that. And last year I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and get to 20 books in 2020. That's just right. So that's how I fast forwarded. And some of these are like my own books. Some of them I'm an author in other people's anthologies, just different things. And now we're at 25.
Awesome. I also know that you are a woman of faith. So how does your faith guide you in your entrepreneurship?
Wow. Yeah. So definitely.
Oh yeah, I'm coming with the questions. I'm gonna bring it.
My clients primarily.
All right, people about to get tired.
My clients primarily are Christian women entrepreneurs, so that's the first thing. But even the fact of being in entrepreneurship is a faith walk, and God has allowed me to be doing well at this thing that I didn't want to do or didn't know how to do. And I come from a long line of evangelists and preachers and worshipers and all this stuff. And so my grandmother looked at me when I was small and said, Stevie, you're going to be a preacher. And I'm like, what? At that time, I was like, what? And then fast forward to A&T, and I'm still like, what? Like, not with this life. But then I came to today in my life, and it just allows me to know who I am in all standpoints, and to have the faith that I do. So I can't imagine life without my faith. I can't imagine life without being a Christian.
Yeah. And I feel how what you were saying, like not with this life, but sometimes you gotta experience things. If you don't experience things, you don't have anything to build on. So
absolutely.
Yeah, the whole story with the mad dog and fire alarm and running out the door, that may have been to help somebody else.
Yeah. You're right.
You got to go through some things. You got to experience some things. That's the only way you get knowledge.
Absolutely. And that's and it makes you relatable, right? If I was, even now as I speak to different people, and I always say, because everybody has a skewed vision of Christianity, and I'm just like, to me, it's about relationship and not religion. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not a religious person. You ask me a scripture, I'm like, child, I don't know, but I know it's that is. And that's the thing. And it's very much like, I'm not that Christian that people have, and it allows me to be relatable because I'm not a holy roller. I just know that God has blessed me, and I live that life. So I think it allows people to be more comfortable, and it allows me to indeed use the gift of evangelism that God has blessed me with to bring more people to him.
Yeah. And that's how I try to live my life. I'm not going to preach you to death, and throw a Bible at you every time I see you, because I don't think that's how Jesus was. Jesus walked among the common men. And
Absolutely.
If he was preachy to them, they wouldn't have listened. I'd like to live my life by example, and then if you got questions, can come on in.
Absolutely.
But I ain't gonna chase you down. No.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's why on social media, everywhere I go, I try to live my life real out loud, good, bad, ugly, and in different parts of it. And just tell people, like, this is a journey. It's out here for you to see. But this is how I got through these moments. This is how I'm experiencing success as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times people think that Christianity is supposed to replace the humanity, and it's not. And, just because I am a Christian, I'm a human. I'm still going to do things. I'm still going to make mistakes. I still want to experience things. Just because I'm a Christian, I can't go out and have fun. it all depends on what your fun is, though,
Yeah.
And yes, because I'm a Christian, it's just like certain places I shouldn't be seen in. Yes. But, you know, if I go out and have a dinner, I'm going to have me a drink.
Yeah.
I don't think God's going to put me in hell for having one drink,
No. No.
and so people get so caught up in, the being in a certain position in the church and not being able to be human. I think is a downfall, because you got little kids looking up to you like, I can't be that perfect. And what they don't know is you can't be that perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody can. No, nobody can. And that's the thing. And I think we have to just live our life out loud to us. I mean, everybody's level of that is different. Some people are just private people. I'm just not. Like, I'm very much open, but I know the call on my life too. And I understand why God has created me to be very much like, this is all my business. If I did it and I liked it, I probably did it twice. So it's like, that's the thing. It's very much like I'm living my life just to be an open book for people, but understanding what everybody's role as a Christian is. And it's definitely not to be something you're not. I think that's the thing. The purest compliment we could give to God is to be all he has created us to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So if God created me to, then I'm going to.
It's a ministry in it.
Yeah, people are sick of me right now. All right, so I want to know about this conference you have coming up, because it sounds powerful, and I almost feel a little left out because I'm a man.
Come on, somebody asked me that question today. I said, a man can come too. As long as the right man who got not coming up there being lecherous, which I know you're the right man, right type of man, but you can come on in. And so I am open to all people. And it is called No More Hidden Figures. It's specifically catered to our Christian women, but we have something to teach our men too, because what I'm learning is that men need help too in a different way. And if God allows them to come on into the conference, come on. And so No More Hidden Figures is the signature event of my business. This is our third time doing it. And I'm super excited about this time because a portion of the proceeds from the conference are going to support a family of one of my clients who passed away. I just attended her service on Friday, and she was the woman who spoke so deeply inside of my own life, even though she was a client of mine. Her name is Pastor Cassandra Elliott, and I want to help to support her family. So that's one of the reasons I'm very excited about No More Hidden Figures. So, even if you can't make it, y'all can come on, buy a ticket for somebody else, bless somebody. But it truly is the opportunity to help you get seen and get paid. I believe that the movie Hidden Figures, those women, we may have never heard about them because they were buried inside of the pages of the history books. However, we have the opportunity to be on amazing platforms like this or Clubhouse where we met or wherever to just get seen and get visible, which leads to money. Two things I trademarked last year is visibility plus credibility equals cash, because that's what I believe. And then No More Hidden Figures, because I'm like tired of people being great people who the world needs to know about, but not enough people know about them. So it is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you all my secrets about visibility, give you everything that I know, including what I learned from North Carolina A&T and my public relations degree. So I'm going to do all that. It's going to be July 24th. The link is I'mNotAHiddenFigure.com. I'mNotAHiddenFigure.com. And it's going to be an amazing day. We have a DJ because, I love music. Y'all see me dancing all day. We're going to have speakers. I'm going to do a few workshops. It's going to be amazing. So thank you for that. Thank you for asking that question.
So it touched a nerve with me when I found out the name, because I live in Hampton. And it was amazing that my daughter got to meet Katherine Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Before we knew she was Katherine Johnson.
Oh, wow.
We were at a hospital in an outpatient, getting lab work done and stuff. And this sweet old lady started talking to my daughter. and she asked her what she wanted to do. And she said, my daughter asked her, so what did you do? And she said, I was a scientist.
Wow.
And it was like a year before the movie came out, right? And we watched the movie. And if you watch all the way through to the end, they show their actual pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blown away. I was like,
Wow.
Jai, you was talking to Katherine Johnson and didn't even know it.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. That just gave me chills because
Right.
that's the thing. And God gave me that vision last year, and really the vision of this conference, because I love the movie. My pastor's son played Janelle Monáe's son in the movie. It's a great movie.
Okay.
We were all excited about that. But I said, we're all hidden to a certain extent. Everybody, the billions of people in the world, they don't know about me. So it's my point to help people to understand that not enough people know about us. Like literally somebody is praying for us to get visible because we have what they need. And so that is powerful, because that truly is the thing. Like, we are entertaining on a spiritual level. We're entertaining angels unaware every day.
Mm-hmm.
And on that Hidden Figures level, it's like, wow, like this lady literally transformed the whole thing of history. Just like Henrietta Lacks is from Roanoke.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but we didn't know. These people have transformed, and we just people, everyday people that nobody knows, but the people who get visibility are the ones who don't need it.
And so how do you feel about that as far as, this whole Instagram society, where it seems like, and as a creator struggling to try to spread a message, it seems like the people with the least amount of message to spread are the people who are seen the most.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm trying to be very politically correct with that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true on so many levels. And I always look at this formula. I tell people all the time, I'm like, God gave me this formula: visibility plus credibility equals cash. And I'm like, the fact that He gave me a math formula, I'm like, I'm not a mathematician at all. So I know with Him speaking. And visibility, you can have a lot of visibility with no credibility. Mm-hmm. Like literally, we've seen that. We've seen that in recent years in our own country. We've seen a lot of visibility, but some people, this person had credibility with, and some people not, and very strong. And I think the thing is that we who need to be visible but don't know how to get visible have to practice visibility. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about when people make money in business is not necessarily they're the best person. They have marketing. They know how to market. The best marketer wins.
Yeah. I'm really excited about your conference.
Thank you. Come on. You're welcome. Come on.
We might have to come on in. So I always end off my episodes like this. If a young pre-Dr. Stevie came to you and asked you for life advice, what would you tell her?
Rock your it factor. And to me, that literally means live out your God-given gifts. Hollywood created the term it factor. That's not a term that people don't know. But when God showed it to me, it's literally all that's inside of you, your good, bad, ugly, and different parts of you. Bring that to the table and let people know. Be real and authentic with folks. And that's really my secret of success, or strategy of success, is that when I learn to be all this and be okay with who I am, and not try to downplay my extraness, not to downplay, because I used to try to do that. One thing we didn't talk about is my dad is a musician, hence the name Stevie, but he's in the funk era, and there was a group called Betty Davis had a group called Funk House, and he was in that group. Betty Davis was Miles Davis's ex-wife, and it's a big funk story, but I literally used to think people just wanted to be connected to me because of my dad. So I had to grow up in my own identity for one. And then I had to be like, I don't have to be this perfect person for two. So like that was the thing for me. And then on top of that, I always joke and tell my cousin, I didn't get to step into my identity at A&T until he left because he was so popular. Everybody knew him. It was like, you're his cousin. So that's the thing. But really, honestly, just be yourself and don't listen to the voices in your head that tell you that you're too much or you're extra. That's literally what's worked for me. Me being this extra has allowed me to do all the things I've done in business and truly be like the life I live. That's literally the thing. And I think that once we all get that and understand that a lot of businesses and corporations pay people to figure out the differentiation strategy inside of their business, and we have it, God has already placed us to be different and peculiar people, then we win.
Yeah. All right, so how can everybody get in touch with Dr. Stevii Mills? What's your social medias, your websites? How can they order the books? Go.
Awesome. Thank you. So if you want to get in touch with me, definitely the best thing is to go get my free book. It is Cultivating Your It Factor. I'm giving away that book for free, the ebook version, simply because it's a great book. It literally is what started the whole journey. It literally is the book when Lala Anthony was #1 at the time we came out. We pushed her to #2. So this book is dope. But if you go to cultivatingyouritfactor.com, you will be able to not only get the book, but you'll be placed on my VIP list and be able to connect with me. So that's what that is. Thank you so much. I appreciate this interview. It was so fun.
Hey, we're going to have to do it again.
Yes, absolutely.
HBCUs, we got to stick together.
Yes, we do. We got work to do.
One more time for the people. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the 757 Renaissance Man podcast. You can reach us at 757renaissanceman.com. I'm Sean. That's Dr. Stevie. And we are out.